Bim, guess what? We're live. And we are doing a live stream on that there YouTube where we're going to look at the news from around the world if you like watching news from around the world. I must give my opinion on it as well because, well, we need someone to have an opinion, don't we? We need to have someone who actually sticks the head above the parapet. Yeah. So yeah, here goes. I'm actually doing something to try and get see if we can get some new blood into the thing. Oh, apparently I'm live streaming on YouTube. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm live streaming on YouTube. That's good. It's also yeah. Click on it. Can I watch myself live on YouTube? This is mad. Dumpty dum. Share. Copy link. There we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Paste it. Was it in and post it. So we might get some strange people joining us in the very near future. So yeah, we're going to look at the news from this week. Been on for 1 minute 46 seconds, and yeah, if you're a follower of my shop on X, formerly Twitter, you may have just got a message saying that I'm live streaming and don't watch this if you're a fan of Labour. Who is a fan of Labour anymore? That's one of the big questions. I mean, seriously, who, if anyone, actually thinks Labour is any good? Hi, Dream Frequency. Hope you're good, Barry. No, you're not Barry. You're Dream Frequency. Sorry. So, what we normally do is we start with the week's news, where we look at the news from Monday to Sunday, and then I'll tell you why everything's wrong and what we need to do to sort it out. No one will listen to me, obviously, because, well, what do I know? Oh yeah, I've got brains, I've got common sense. Apart from that, not a lot really. And then we'll have a look at the silly news of the week. We will have a laugh at the news that is going on around the world that is a bit more, well, less annoying, less serious, fun even. Hi, Tegs, hope you're okay. We've got Kelly and Rollo. Rollo's a dog. Rollo. I don't normally talk like this. It's a dog. Rollo. Rollo. Hope you're good. And Laney's on as well. So yeah, I've just posted this on Twitter, X, and we will see if we get any extra views for it, because I honestly think that people need to know you know, what I think about things. I mean, one thing I think about things is I forgot to change the date at the top of the screen, but it doesn't matter, sorted it now. So there we go. Last week me and Stephen went to my mum's for a birthday. 28 now. Your mum's 28? Wow, crikey. That's good. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to look at the week's news, and I'm going to give my opinion on it. By all means, join in the chat. That's what it's there for. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. If you do join in the chat, you will get a shout out at the end of the show. If you listen to this on a podcast, then a lot of this will be irrelevant because a lot of it is visual. I will try and describe the visual bits that we look at. No, her mum lives at 28. Oh, okay then. Oh, I'm 28, I now feel old. Oh, well, I'm more than double that, so don't worry about it, Kelly, and I don't feel old. It's a lie, I mentioned. Anyway, let's crack on. Oh, every time I bend over, I look like I've gone bald. I'm going bald, but I'm not gone bald. That's the difference. So yeah, here we go. Monday, the 16th of September. We're already halfway through September. What the is going on? Well, it's just time. I mean, it's a weird thing, but there you go. What can you do? So, two-tier justice. Apparently, Hugh Edwards gets a suspended sentence because he had very graphic, pornographic images of children on his mobile devices, which he didn't report to anyone and paid someone for, allegedly. And he gets 6 months suspended sentence. Whereas an old woman who says nasty things on social media gets imprisoned, as do various other people. Where's the justice? I know some people should get a warning and maybe do public service for what they've done, i.e. the rioters, people who said nasty things on Facebook or Twitter or X, whatever, and people like Hugh Edwards, who basically look at gross child pornography, should go to prison. Why have we got it the wrong way around? Oh yeah, because we've got Keir Starmer in charge. More about him later, including some interesting facts regarding Al-Fayed. Oh, and Stephen asked me the big question, and I said yes, here's me talking about sexual impropriety with children, and we should be looking here. Dream. Yeah, I'm older than you as well. So congratulations, Stephen Kelly, and hopefully Rollo can bring the rings down the aisle on his back on a little thing. We'll carry on talking about disgusting paedophilia. No, we can't. We're moving on. Junior doctors accept a 22% pay rise after 2 years of striking, but not the 35% they said that they were not going to move from when it was a Labour government. Was this a political manoeuvre by the BMA? Yeah, obviously it was. They wanted to get rid of the Tories, so they said that they wouldn't even discuss anything unless it was 35%. Labour get in within a few weeks. Oh, we'll take 22% over 3 years. You definitely will with a little suit on. Oh, that's nice. We need pictures, and I'll put it on. That was a week that was week thing, news thing when we do it. Ryan North has got 5 charges against him and appears in court over the Trump assassination attempt at the golf course. Except, of course, it wasn't an assassination attempt, it just happened to have a gun near Trump playing golf. The only shots fired were actually by the FBI Secret Service towards him rather than him towards Trump. So what Trump says later on is absolute BS, but don't worry about it. Public hearing in America over the Ocean Gate Titan, which killed 5 people when it went to visit the wreck of the Titanic. It'd been down 13 times, but in those 13 times 118 things had gone wrong. So yeah, would you go down, like into the middle of nowhere, in basically an oil drum with some mad man? Well, no. Sadly, 5 people, including the madman, lost their lives. Manchester City are finally facing 115 charges over financial rule breaks. Now, this is over. I don't understand it really, to be fair, because I think if you run a business and it doesn't make money, you shouldn't be punished for that. It should be a case of you're not making any money, therefore you're rubbish and you go bust. That's what it's about, isn't it? I would have thought. Anyway, what do I know? September the 17th. It was a Tuesday. Pages explode in Lebanon. 9 dead and over 3,000 injured. Hezbollah members mainly. Israel is blamed. It wasn't just Hezbollah members. Now, I get the idea that Hezbollah is a terrorist organisation. I get the idea that Hamas are a terrorist organisation. I don't get the idea why we are supporting Israel, if it was them in this case, exploding items which they don't know who's got them in their hands at the time or in their pockets. Children, could be someone driving a car, it could be someone driving a school bus, could have been anyone, anywhere. And that goes off, and obviously it affects their capabilities of actually doing whatever it is they're doing, or it kills innocent children or whatever. You cannot blame children or kill children for the sake of trying to kill other people. I'm one of the few people who don't agree with what the IDF have done in this one, if it is them. But they've not said it was. Well, at least not yet. It's Tuesday, remember. Sean Diddy Coombs, P. Diddy, is denied bail over human trafficking and sexual exploitation of many people over many years. Huge wildfires in Portugal and the north of Europe is absolutely flooded, but it's nothing to do with global warming. So the people who don't believe in global warming, the people who believe in global warming say it's all to do with global warming. We need to have electric cars. It's not the future. Glasgow may stand in to host the Commonwealth Games after Queensland pulled out. This is the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Glasgow hosted it a few years ago and they have the infrastructure there to carry on doing it. Dream frequency, going back to the Hezbollah, yes, at least one child died that we're aware of, but again, it's one of them things you've got to take with a pinch of salt. Anything Hezbollah, to be fair, Hamas, and certainly Israel say about anything. But yeah, it's just scary. And lots of people lost their sight, fingers, hips were shattered. There was a video of the guy in the fruit and veg part of a supermarket which just literally collapsed because it blew his hip off. So yeah, it's just, I don't understand the logic of that at all. But anyway, what do I know? I'm not an Israeli government minister. I'm a human who believes that innocent humans should not be punished. But I also believe that innocent humans should be punished. What can you do? Wednesday, the day after, and walkie-talkies explode. Hezbollah is the second wave of attacks. Israel will have revenge put against it, say Hezbollah. Many blinded after yesterday's pager explosions, because if you've got your pager in your hand and it's buzzed, the first thing you do is you look at your pager. Okay, I know it's 1970s, 1980s technology, but you look at your pager because it's buzzed and then it blows up and blows your eyes out. So, it were all Hezbollah sold dodgy pages. Yeah, I mean, in a way it's genius, the way they've done it, but it's just, it's like carpet bombing. I've always said that what the IDF and Israel and Netanyahu have done in Gaza, carpet bombing, flattening buildings, killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians, is not the way forward. Technology nowadays is scary. Yeah, we've all got mobile phones. Don't let Wigan Council know I've got a mobile phone. Hashtag just saying. I'm scared of replacing it. Meanwhile, Sue Gray earns more than Keir Starmer, and she's only Chief of Staff. And she also wrote a report slamming the Tories in Downing Street, and she earns £170,000 a year. And it was leaked by someone in government to the BBC, and it looks like cracks are already forming in Labour, as predicted by me on TikTok and various other formats. What? Oh yeah, there was an attack in Russian territory, 200 miles into the Russian state. Zelensky says that it was an attack on military sites. Russia says the explosions occurred, so they actually agreed with it. And some of the fires and everything were seen from space. It even caused earthquake tremors, which is something which is quite impressive. But we don't know whether or not it's Western weapons or whether Zelensky's actually used weapons he's allowed to use in Russia. But the problem is, you know, Russia's going to hit back at some point. Train drivers, 96% of ASLEV agree to a 15% pay rise over 3 years. Bear in mind inflation is 2.2. Bear in mind the average train driver earns more considerably than the average wage of the entire country. But anyway, again, Labour have just bowed to the pressure and given a massive pay rise, whereas other people get coal. TGI Fridays owners enter administration. Possibility every single TGI's Fridays restaurant will be closed down, and 4,500 people may lose their jobs. Hopefully someone will move in to buy it, but I'll be honest with you, hospitality is not a good place to be at the minute. It's not a cool place to be because of rising power prices, i.e. Gas, electric, and that's what all hospitality needs. You need gas to cook the food, you need electric to keep things chilled, and also for the lighting, heating and everything else. And minimum wage keeps going up as well, which doesn't help. It brings us to Thursday the 19th of September. The IDF hit 36 targets in Lebanon. British nationals are advised to leave Lebanon as soon as possible. Hezbollah say over the attacks over the previous 2 days of the walkie-talkies and the pagers, a red line has been crossed. Well, it's not the first time Netanyahu's crossed a red line. Don't get me wrong, I think Hezbollah should be destroyed, but not at the expense of tens of thousands of innocent people. Dodi Al-Fayed, who's now dead, now claims are that he was a sexual predator. Now, I wrote at the time, is this revenge over the claims over the Diana death and the conspiracy against the royal family? Seems there's a lot more to it than that. But more of that later. Keir, are you watching? Keir Starmer has 26 local news interviews. And a lot of them are asking the same, BBC, a lot of them are asking the same question over Sue Gray's pay. He's not having a good week, is he? It gets worse, hopefully. Many prisoners were not tagged when they were released early from prison. The government blame Serco company for not doing their job. Mind you, they didn't give Serco much warning that there was going to be a massive influx of prisoners being released, rather than a steady stream like there has been for the last however long Serco have been in charge. Interest rates remain at 5% because inflation is not down at 2%, it's 2.2%. And if you go to the shops, you'll know yourself that interest rates, well, inflation is still a thing, because stuff's still going up in the shops. 20th, which was a Friday of September, more Al-Fayed accusations, including at the women's football club. Apparently there was a rule there at Fulham that no Fulham women's football player or staff could be allowed alone with Al-Fayed. But nothing was done. The PM and the Deputy PM and Chancellor say that now no longer to accept donations for clothing. Only clothing, that's all they mention. I mean, they're making it out like they're the heroes. No, you're doing what you should be doing. You're in good jobs, you get good money. Keir Starmer, okay, you don't get paid as much as Sue Gray, but you know, Sue Gray even. But don't worry about that. You can certainly afford to buy your own suits and everything else. And as for, well, the other two, well, have you seen what they wear? And no wonder they get them for free, no one would buy them. Israel military say targeted strike killed Hezbollah leader, which is a good thing. And it shows they can target rather than carpet bombing things. But you do have to ask, how targeted was it? Because again, many innocent people died. Yes, we know Hamas and Hezbollah use human shields, but as we found out a few months ago, they can literally target a car going along the road at night over an hour and a half and hit them and nothing else. Sadly, the people in the cars were innocent aid workers. In fact, far from innocent, they were actually doing the job that people should be doing in Gaza, which is trying to help people rather than kill them. Farage, Nigel, was asked, will he be next PM? He said he might be. I'm not sure. But he said it's probably going to be someone younger and better looking than him. Well, that rules me out then, doesn't it? And David Graham has died, aged 99. He was one of the early voices for the Daleks in Doctor Who. He was also Peppa Pig's granddad. So if you're a Peppa Pig person, he was a Peppa Pig voice actor. He played granddad or grandpa, whatever he was called. Never seen Peppa Pig. And he was also Parker, my era, Thunderbirds. Yes, my lady. He was the chauffeur driver for Lady Penelope in Thunderbirds. Or go, anything can happen in the next 30 minutes. But usually it's someone being saved from something by someone. Or something. I don't know. All politicians should display their sponsors on their backs like footballers. I must admit, I agree that. Or if something's bought for them, they have to have it on, paid for by, I mean, we do it discreetly. More like snooker players, they have a little like Velcro badge thing that they stick on for their sponsor when they're playing their snooker. Not that I watch snooker because, well, I have a life. But yeah, it was interesting that was what they're talking about. I forgot to do this as well because it's world news thing, so I forgot. Never mind. Let's not worry about it. Saturday the 21st, yesterday, IDF say they hit over 130 targets overnight. 37 were confirmed dead after yesterday's airstrike, which demolished a 7-storey building. Israel say it was a precision strike, but if you look at the images, it wasn't that precision really. Many more women complain about Al Fayed, including ex-Harrods employees, and the current owners of Harrods apologise. I'm like, well, you didn't own Harrods at the time, so it's not exactly your fault. So I don't know what you're apologising about. You basically saved people by getting rid of Al Fayed by buying the company in the first place. It's the autumnal equinox today, and autumn officially begins today as well. Who knew? It's Sunday the 22nd of September. Labour Party conference starts. Rayner says Labour are open and transparent over freebies, but then denied that she lied about accepting a stay in a flat in New York, including having another Labour MP stay at the flat at the same time. Can't trust any of them. The UN Secretary General fears Lebanon could be yet another Gaza after the Hezbollah launch more airstrikes into Israel. So despite the IDF and Netanyahu trying to destroy the contact ability of the Hezbollah to communicate with each other, so they do strikes and things like that, they're still sending in many missiles. And this is the interesting bit if you're a Keir Starmer fan. The CPS, not once, but twice, considered charges of sexual misconduct by Al Fayed, but decided not enough evidence was available, including in 2018 and in 2015. And there were 3 more after that were not even sent to the CPS. The reason for that? Well, I don't know. It may be, just one of those things. There wasn't enough evidence. Or, no, it can't be. No, it's just there wasn't enough evidence at all. I mean, on a completely different note, and not referencing anything that I've said in the last 2 or 3 minutes, Keir Starmer was the head of the CPS between 2008 and 2015. In 2015. In 2013, he changed their way that they look at sexual misconduct from individuals as to whether prosecute or not. Now, I'm not, that is just a complete aside. It's got nothing to do with anything I've said at all during the course of this broadcast, because obviously it hasn't. It's just a fact that Keir Starmer was in charge of the CPS between those dates, and he changed the rules when it looked into sexual misconduct from individuals. It's got nothing to do with anything else that I've said recently at all. Nothing. Absolutely zip. Nothing. Hi T, good to see you. Anyway, I think I dodged that one. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? To the news that makes you go, oh my, what? Really? No. That's funny. Yeah, it's the news that makes you go, And this week we've got a few bits and pieces, including, not that, including that, which is in Australia, they have these magpies that, well, they're basically protecting their young. It's coming into spring in Australia as we go into autumn, and it's basically is the time for people to be attacked by birds. So grab your cable ties. Why would you grab your cable ties? The annual magpie swooping season is once again upon us. I mean, do we get swooped by magpies in the UK? I don't think so. As magpies lay their eggs in September, they can become highly territorial, often swooping at everyone in sight to protect their young, which is fair enough. Authorities are warning us never to approach young magpies that might have left or fell from a nest, and not to fight back and yell if a magpie swoops. Because why would you? Well, you wouldn't, because that would be stupid. Talking of stupid, Trump is safe after shots fired. Donald Trump's campaign says he's safe, and one person has been arrested after a firearm was pointed into the former US president's golf club in Florida that morning. Authorities say the would-be shooter appeared to push a muzzle of a rifle through the club's fence line before security agents opened fire. So the person with the gun didn't actually open fire, so the president was completely safe. Having said that, the president's protection are American, and in the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, they actually killed more friendlies than enemies. So maybe, yeah, he did literally dodge a bullet. You all know I only follow one sport, that's F1. One reason why I was about 10 minutes late today. But don't worry about it, because we can still talk about it. Last weekend, Oliver Bearman becomes the first driver to score points for two teams in his first two starts. Now, I mean, it's impressive that he started in two separate teams. Obviously Ferrari and Haas being nowhere near as good as Ferrari, and Ferrari being better than what they have been, but not brilliant. But Oliver Bearman makes history by becoming the first ever driver to score points in his first two races with two different teams. Now, he might be the first driver to score points, or one of very few drivers to score points in his first two races, even for the same team. But it does show we've got a future world champion coming to Britain again soon. So he's got a permanent drive starting next season. Meanwhile, BMW order recall after new customer attempts to use the indicator. Obviously they're not wired up properly because people with BMWs don't use indicators. And it obviously caused a fire in that one. So if you've got a BMW, don't use it. Well, you don't anyway, do you? The rich get richer, the lazy live for a free, and the middle class pay for it all. Don't need to say any more about that, that's just the way of life. Reform UK posted this. Whilst Keir Starmer takes away pensioners' winter fuel payments, he and his wife get a new designer wardrobe. Basically £23,000 they claim, and they say it's the amount you have to spend on Keir Starmer and his wife's clothes to access number 10. Apparently the person who gave them that money got a temporary pass to get into number 10 Downing Street whenever they wanted. This is Keir Starmer kicking time, but let's be honest, it's like shooting fish in a barrel with a pager belonging to Hezbollah. This man is worth 7.7 million. He believes pensioners who received around £12,000 a year can live without their winter fuel payments, but accepted 76,000 in freebies, including suits and glasses for him, dresses for his wife, and tickets to over 20 football matches. Yep, Keir Starmer is one of the most dangerous people in the country. Showing soon at a local cinema. Yeah, I'm kicking Keir Starmer, but let's be honest, it's as simple as shooting fish in a barrel using Hezbollah walkie-talkie. Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves and Angela Rayner, the old deer hunters. No pensioner is safe from the makers of other scandals that are coming your way. One of my big questions of the week is, have we got this? No, we got it later on, so I'll come to that later. That's a tease for you. Oh, we like a tease. We do, don't we? Tell me we like a tease. Tito Jackson, the second member of the Jackson 5, has passed away. Tyrone Adriel Tito Jackson, the third of 9 children and one of the brothers who make up the beloved pop group the Jackson 5, has died at the age of 70. The family group was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997 and produced several #1 hits in the 1970s, including ABV, April last 1, 2, 3, I want you back, and I'll be there, I'll be there. That's why I was never in the Jackson 5. They finally did it even. Yep, it's a sink for men in a bathroom. Not even joking, we've all done it, guys. Same Height Party by artist Hans Hemart in Berlin in 1997. He basically come up with these platforms so that everyone who was in the party were exactly the same height. I mean, that takes a lot of effort, not a very not a very environmentally friendly, but 1997 no one cared about the environments. It's actually a genius idea, to be fair, so you can look everyone in the eye. I asked my next door neighbour to take out my bin as I wouldn't be home. He definitely went above and beyond. So he took the bin to the park and had a coffee with it, sat on a bench. I don't think that's what he meant when he said take my bin out, but again, absolute genius. We mentioned it before, good old Man City, you know, never broke a rule in their lives. How Man City plans on winning their case against the 115 charges. Basically a truckload of cash. Which brings us to electric cars. Fiat's car could catch on fire. Almost 1,500 Mini Coopers on Australian roads have been recalled over fears they could catch on fire while driving. Electric cars, the future. Nope. According to BMW, the parent company of Mini, a high voltage battery management software defect that was identified in the Mini Cooper SE models made between 2020 and 2023 could short circuit and cause a fire while driving or parked. I mean, even if you're not in Australia, I'd still be pooping my pants if I had one of them things, but I wouldn't own an electric car if you give me one for free. Cats that look like celebrities. There's a cat there that looks like Ed Miliband. Ebenezer Starmer, pensioner harmer. Yeah, we're going to see a lot more of that over Christmas, aren't we? Especially when pensioners start dying of cold. Yesterday my husband thought he saw a cockroach in the kitchen. He sprayed everything down and cleaned thoroughly. Today I'm putting the cockroach in the bathroom. Obviously from a disgruntled wife. But again, genius. It made me smile. Not as much as this. There's no way my house smells like weed. And then my house, yeah, it does look like someone who's been on the weed. Not that I would know, obviously. Bird migration wasn't proved until 1822. Before then, theories to explain their seasonal disappearance included hibernation and transforming into mice. I mean, 1822 was like 200 years ago, but still it seems a long while before they realised that birds actually migrated, didn't it? All Labour MPs are kind and think of their people, the people who voted for them, their constituents, except for this one, Peter Lamb MP. If people choose not to put their heating on after several above inflation increases in their state pension, then that's their choice. Anyone who genuinely needs the payment to afford it will still get it. Overall, pensioners will benefit more from NHS capacity than extra cash. So yeah, Peter Lamb MP, who knows all about anything, is basically telling Age UK and various other people that yeah, the pensioners who can't afford to put the heating on will benefit because the money that they would have got has gone into the NHS, so they get treated quicker. I mean, seriously. Seriously. Do not walk on rocks. If you do and file a suit claiming injury, this sign will be marked Exhibit A. Absolute ingenious. So it's a sign warning people not to go on the rocks, and it will be told various things. The ancient jar smashed by a 4-year-old boy returns to the museum display after repairs, and you would never know anything had happened to that vase, would you? Meanwhile, Starmer, this morning I saw an old lady struggling with 2 heavy bags of shopping. I immediately thought that she needed help. So I have halved her pension, so now she can only afford 1 bag of shopping. There's a picture there of Angela Rayner and Keir Starmer laughing away. Obviously it's a fake account, parody account, but that's basically where I feel like we're going. Oh, I've done that one already, Burn Migration, I do apologise. Where have I gone wrong there? Oh no, I appear to be missing something. Here we go, we're off again. We're now approaching Leeds, where this train terminates customers. Someone's commented, it's a bit extreme, isn't it? You've arrived at your destination, we're now going to kill you. The older I get, the tighter companies are putting lids on their jars. I mean, I've noticed that as well. It is a sad true fact. I don't know how they know, I'll be honest with you. Bit of a meme. Deleted scene from The Shining in 1980. Basically, it's a Frozen, spoilers, Jack Nicholson with the guy from Dumb and Dumber who gets his tongue stuck on a frozen pole, licking his face and then having his head put. Yeah, anyway. This post has been removed because it might cause offence. And it's basically a fence post hole that has been vacated of its fence post because it might cause offence. Do not climb, play and on and around the pipe. And this is on a beach, and there is a picture of a pipe going into the sea with a sign directly in front of it saying do not climb, play on and around the pipe, with literally tens of children and men sat on the pipe, and then loads of others around the pipe in the water, because yeah, we don't listen to good advice even when it's good. Tragedy, when the feeling's gone and you can't go on, well, you can't use Tupperware anymore. Iconic brand files for bankruptcy. A staple brand in kitchens across the country is on shaky ground after nearly 80 years in business. Tupperware has filed for bankruptcy in the US after reporting a fall in sales for 6 consecutive quarters. Now, a quarter is only 3 months, so they basically for 18 months had fall in sales, and now they're filing for bankruptcy. I mean, I always thought they were a pretty stable company. Tupperware parties, if you're a certain age, your parents, certainly your mother, would have gone to a Tupperware party or two at some point or other. Pears grown in Argentina, packed in Thailand and sold in the USA. So there's a rather beautiful map there that shows over there in the far is Argentina. Then it goes to, where does it go to there? That is Thailand for packaging, and then it goes over the ocean to America to be sold. Environmentally friendly fruit, not. Sky News found the Prime Minister got £107,000 worth of gifts since 2019. It just needs a little bit of sensitivity, rethinking inside of number 10. Hear what former Cabinet Minister and ex-prisoner has to say. Yeah, absolute nonsense really. If you're a member of the political establishment, whether you're in government or in defence or opposition or whatever, you do not accept stuff off people, because that would become then, well, it would compromise your situation, wouldn't it? Right, here's the school lesson of the day. School lesson of the day. Did you know that the crisp white and vibrant red stripes on a windsock are not just for decoration? No. They actually tell pilots the speed of the wind. So, if it's only the first little bit nearest the pole, it's 3 knots, which is 3.5 miles per hour. If it goes up to the end of the white one, it is 6 knots or 7 miles an hour. If it goes to the other side of the orange, it's 9 knots, 10 miles an hour. If it goes to the end of the white one before the end, it is 12 knots, which is 14 miles an hour. And if it goes right to the end, like the picture, the photograph, it is at least 15 knots and 17 miles an hour. And obviously it moves around in the direction of the wind as well. So if you're a pilot coming into land, particularly in a small plane, then you've got an idea of the wind speed and the wind shear that you may be getting. I bet someone's buying his frigging white fronts as well. We're on about Keir Starmer. I don't want to think about Keir Starmer's white fronts. Thank you. You know, I like Banksy and I think he's really good at street art, but you'd have to go a long way to beat this. This is a photograph of a man or a woman, I assume it's a man, having a wee, looking over a vista of something or other. And it's on a concrete, what looks like a bollard or something similar. And the artist is a little puppy pug. Basically, it just looks like that. Absolute genius. I do like that quite a lot. And the puppy's cute as well. Yeah, we've got to have cute animals, haven't we? Otherwise, what's the point? And now, if you're a regular viewer of my videos, you'll know I did my annual Monopoly thing. I've not been since because it was an absolute disgrace what I got from McDonald's. And I kind of empathise with this, which is outside a Burger King. And it basically says, "Why eat with a clown? Come and eat with a king." Burger King. But yeah, McDonald's have gone down so much in my estimation. Absolute awesomely bad what I got off them. In 1859, a wealthy settler named Thomas Austin released 13 wild rabbits on his Australian estate. By 1920, the population of the rabbits had grown to 10 billion. So 1859 to 1920, 13 to 10 billion. They were at it, dare I say, like rabbits. This annoys me when people park really badly. A car parked there, Tesla, parked in 2 lanes. And it says, "Look at me, I'm special." And someone's chalked that onto the floor, and whoever's took this picture or seen this picture said, "I need to buy some chalk so I can do the same thing." The other thing that's really annoying is I parked on a car park today which was pretty much empty, and when I got back to my car tonight there was a car literally parked next to me, and I don't know how the driver got out of the car. I'm like, "Say, this is a massive car park, it's getting empty. Why did you park next to me, you absolute wipe?" Then we've got another picture of a car. This time it's a Nissan parked really badly, and someone's written in chalk, "Asshole parking," as in they are an asshole. Another sign. I do like signs. Truck yard, I've got the sign up saying it's butt cheeks, one word, or should I spread them apart? So is butt cheeks one word, or should it be spread apart? You had to think about that then, didn't you? Yeah, well, I sorted it out for you. What's the worst thing that could possibly happen to society? The answer is buildings where you don't need to leave, like this one. Inside a dystopian apartment block where that houses over 20,000 residents, and residents never need to even leave. There's schools in there, there's a hospital, clinic kind of thing, there's shops, offices, everything else in this block. And I can imagine before long it'll be somewhere where Judge Dredd has to go in and kill all the drug barons, because it'll be completely well, awful. The first drone I saw flying around in primary school, again you have to be of a certain age for this, for 2 reasons. One is I don't think they use chalkboards anymore, and the other one is you can't throw chalk dusters at people. But if you're a regular viewer, you'll have heard me talk about this many times. In the German class I was rubbish. I think nowadays I'd be described as being dyslexic. At the time I was just not really getting German. So I was a chief projectionist, so I was in the middle of the class, and the German teacher was quite a short guy. Had a kid in the back corner, diagonally across from me and him, who was always causing trouble, and the chalk dust would fly regularly over my head because I duck out of the way and hit said child. It was the 1970s, 1980s. You could do that back then. You can't do that now. It's a shame, really. Some kids could do with a chalk duster in their head. Labour Keir Starmer in opposition said, looking ahead to winter is frightening. I've met pensioners who have no idea how they'll heat their homes, parents who will have to skip meals so their kids can eat. Labour Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. Labour vote to scrap universal winter fuel payments. Yep, he's an absolute prick. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. And what I meant was, Kim prick. With a pocket full of cash and a full tank of petrol, you're free. With electric vehicles and digital currency, you're controlled, which is what I've been saying for a long while. Think about it, it makes sense. Crossing lights for people who look at the phone all the time, and they're going to never miss a green light in Korea. And this should be everywhere. I think this is good for people who have limited eyesight as well. Basically, it's a strip at the edge of the curb that is red when it's obviously the little man's on red, or the person, we're not say man anymore, are we? And when it changes to green, the strip in front of the people changes to green as well, and I think that should be adopted. I think that is a really, really good idea. South Korea, obviously not North Korea, they can't afford electricity in North Korea, but there you go. Lithium-ion battery warning. Warning has been issued by firefighters across Australia of the dangers of lithium-ion battery fires after receiving related call-outs to homes almost daily. We've got the same problem in the UK as well. In fact, the UK Fire Service has said in the last 24 hours that lithium batteries are causing more fires now than chip pan fires. Reasons for that is a lot of people have got air fryers now, guilty. And if you haven't got an air fryer and you fry chips, most people now have got an actual chip fryer, like a mini version of a fish and chip shop, which has a thermostat and everything. Very few people still use a pan on an open hob for chips. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, lithium batteries are incredibly dangerous. Of course, they're not dangerous apparently if you put them in cars. Unless, of course, you're in a car. Keir Starmer, wanker. Keir Starmer slammed for £100,000 worth of freebies, including £4,000 Swifty tickets to the Arsenal box. The Prime Minister has accepted freebies for various other matches, including watching his beloved Arsenal against Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Man United, Porto and Brighton, because he is a fan. And his argument is, or rather his cronies who defend him say, well, he can't sit with the other people, can he, because he's the Prime Minister. Yet, I'm pretty sure that Rishi Sunak kind of mingled with the people, as did various other Prime Ministers over the years. But Keir Starmer, well, we all know he's special. Anne Robinson admits brutal weakest link put-downs would be stamped out now. Anne Robinson hosted the iconic BBC quiz show The Weakest Link for 12 years and was famous for her savage comments, something she doesn't think she'd get away with if the show aired now. Well, the show does air now with Ramesh Ranganathan doing it. And yeah, it's all very friendly now. Oh, never mind, you didn't win. You're off, thumbs up. Yeah, no, you're absolutely thick as pig shit. Get off here. Should say that's Keir Starmer. Student warns of holidaying horror after quad bike plunged off a cliff edge. I mean, I'm not saying students are thick, but she's warning people not to be on a quad bike and go off a cliff edge. 2 giant emus go on the run in UK town and chase kids in comedy escape. Anyone else thinking? Yeah, anyway, let's move on. 2 runaway emus caused havoc in a market town in Suffolk after chasing children and forcing a vehicle to swerve to avoid them on the road, according to reports. So it's no proof other than fake picture. Bungling drug dealers set up cannabis factories opposite a police station. A huge £100,000 cannabis factory has been busted after a bungling drug dealer sets up shop directly opposite a police station. To be fair, I wouldn't imagine the police would even notice. I mean, how long did it take them? How much cannabis did they get out of there before the police come along and stopped them? I dread to think. Meanwhile, you've heard of leaves on track, stopping trains. How's about this one? Squirrel causes train to be cancelled after refusing to leave as passengers flee. A train service to Gatwick was cancelled after 2 squirrels hopped on board and one of the rodents refused to get off. Refused. No, I want to get to Gatwick, it said, forcing passengers to make their way along the train. I mean, if you can't get a squirrel off a train, then you shouldn't be on the planet, let's be honest. Spectacular UFO footage captured over city is proof that alien races exist. Recent footage of UFO hovering over a city in western Mexico has split the internet. Yeah, I'm on the side of bullshit. Ancient mine found on £68 million UK road as drone snaps show entrance to dark abyss. Gaping crevice was spotted on a stretch of land being prepared for the new St Austell to A30 link road in Cornwall, and is believed to be the entrance to an ancient tin mine. I mean, must have been a slow news day. That's all I'm saying. Fuming mum slams boozer after kids told to turn the iPods down in a restaurant. Two mums who have slammed a historic pub in Manchester after they claimed their children were told to turn the iPads down while they were dining in the restaurant. No, turn them off. Don't turn them down, turn them off. There's nothing worse than a kid with an iPad or an iPhone or some other digital device with Peppa the fucking Pig on it, screaming and shouting out, even when you're in a shopping centre. Never mind you've had a quiet meal. I'd have took the fucking things off them and given them back when they left. Stuff that. Oh, just some people are fucking ignorant. I mean, oh, my child's got special needs. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But doesn't mean they can disturb everyone else because you think they're special. Oh, Keir Starmer. No link there whatsoever. He's not special. Freebie fanatic Sir Keir Starmer's £100 goodies. Part of the job, claims Labour. A minister said, it's not a perk of the job, it's part of the job. People want to engage with decision makers. They want to ask you to be aware of what they're doing. Yeah, they can do that without giving you freebies. It's your job to speak to people. You don't get paid to speak to people. Well, you get paid to do the job. That's enough, isn't it? Donald Trump claims he's bigger than Elvis and greatest of all time. I have no idea what that picture is. Oh, it's Donald Trump's ear and a blurry picture of Johnny Depp. It's so bad in the cafe in Wigan with parents giving their kids pads when they eat. Absolutely. Donald Trump told cheering supporters that God has now spared my life twice following 2 assassination attempts, and that he's going to turn this country around and make America great again. Yeah, it was only 1 assassination attempt because the other person didn't get a chance to actually fire a round off. So it wasn't God that saved him. It was ineptitude the first time from a sniper who couldn't hit a barn door from 4 foot away, and the second time it was the Secret Service agents who actually did their job. It's not God. School pupil allowed to identify as a wolf as kid suffers from species dysphoria. Bullshit. Hashtag just saying. Teachers are supporting a pupil at a Scottish school after they chose to identify as a wolf. The teen suffers from species dysphoria, where a person feels their body is part of the wrong species. No, this person needs gentle psychiatric help. This person has mental health issues. This person should not be cosseted and be told that people believe their mental health illness. I mean, fuming. United States unveil secretive new £858 million nuclear bomber in stunning new images. So, what country is America close to? Take a look at that bomber. Take a look at this blurry picture in Mexico. Aliens? Or is it just America about to bomb the drug barons? Make him live in a cave. Oh, you're a wolf cub. See, now Bitcoin, he does identify as a wolf cub, and we have to... God. I'm gender assigning them, I do apologise. They identify as a Bitcoin wolf cub, so we have to identify them. There's a nurse in the Liverpool hospital identifies as a cat. Yep, that doesn't surprise me at all. I kind of hope it's a patient. I know it's not. It's probably the bloody head of surgery or something. Yeah, they definitely need help. I mean, you don't pander to people's delusions. You try and help them and see, you're better than a wolf. You're a human being. Well, no, actually. No, wolves are better. Maybe male, thank you. I was going to say prove it. Have you got the paperwork to prove it? But you probably do, so it's fine. Harry and Meghan's neighbours are fed up and cannot wait for her to cough. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been living in Montecito, California since 2020, and a number of their neighbours have reportedly voiced their opinions on the couple's presence. Basically, even them. Yeah, exactly. Shut up, Harry. That was a hashtag from about 18 months ago. And it's back with a vengeance. A surgeon claims he went to heaven during a coma and it smelled like fried chicken. Dr. Eben Alexander claims he has seen heaven during a week-long coma after battling with E. coli infection, and reveals what he was in this marshmallow cloud world. It was a chicken nugget. He identified as a dead chicken nugget. Oh, aliens. A time traveller claims to know the exact day aliens will make contact. Eno Alaric, who claims to be a time traveller from 2671, has warned of several dramatic events to take place before the end of this year, including the exact date of alien contact. Well, there you go then. Doesn't tell you when it is though. Assume it's if Trump gets elected. To price for driving home for Christmas rise for Brits due to new paper mile tax. The UK government is set to introduce a new paper mile car tax system later this year, and it could add substantial cost to Christmas travel plans for many, which is what I've been saying for ages regarding the amount of spy cameras that are dotted around everywhere, including on the... I just got a draft then. Where did I get a draft? Very weird. Including around Greater Manchester with the CAS cameras, which are still there. And I've said, and it's been denied, that these are for pay for mile. Well, it's going to put up the price of taxis and stuff like that as well. So I wouldn't be too glad, Laney. Half of GZ are scared of the dark and leave lamp on so they're not spooked out. A shocking 47%, which isn't half to be fair, of 16 to 26 year olds admitted they're scared of the dark and need to have a light on to help them get to sleep. But boomers couldn't give them a flying about it. Well, I don't give a flying about it. I find it annoying if I've got a light on. The only time I fall asleep with a light on is if I'm watching telly and I'm tired, and I've done that for a long while. Halloween is under threat as UK pumpkin supply faces horror shortage. Kilduff Farm, Kilduff more like, not Kilduff. East Lothian has been forced to be permanently close its pumpkin patch after the weather damaged crops, as boss Lucy Calder blamed unprecedented weather. And that's Lucy there in the picture. Let's not even mention anything about anything else other than that. Yeah, pumpkin panic. Tesco drafting Northern Irish Dalek robot security guards to scare off robbers. Tesco bosses are making the use of robotic security guards which shout at intruders in a menacing Northern Irish accent. And I bet to cut down the amount of break-ins there. Oi, you motherfucker, what you fucking doing in my fucking shop? We're fucking shut. Get out of my shop, you absolute fucking legends. That kind of thing. So yeah, they're not actual Daleks. They're not going to exterminate people. Although I wouldn't have a problem with that, to be fair. But there you go then, so it is. I was only saying the other day to Barry, terrified of Daleks. So you're terrified of Daleks. So what about the Northern Irish Daleks? I can mention the Daleks today, to be fair. So it is. Government slammed for blaming rich pensioners for grim winter fuel cuts. Labour's Lisa Nandy, our MP, told BBC Breakfast that the Tories had done absolutely nothing to encourage pensioners to apply for pension credit in the past, and she defended the winter fuel payment cuts. So it is there. The Labour there, so they are. They're really good. They're defending theirs, blaming the other government for doing it, so they are. And they're not wrong there, you think about it. It's all true, so it is. Missing cat makes a 900-mile journey home in 2 months, and no one knows how. A lost cat managed to find its way home after a 2-month, 900-mile journey from Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming to Salinas, California, its owner said. Number of questions. One is, how do you know it's the same fucking cat? Number 2, why was the cat 900 miles away from home? Number 3, who cares? Person who identifies as ambulance is aroused by emergency vehicles and openings as well. I mean, again, people do scream mental health issues. They need to be helped, not treated with scorn and abuse. Santika, which is also Czech word for ambulance, says emergency vehicles are attracted from wheel to lights, and that one company lets them prowl around their depot looking for theft. No, this guy sadly needs some help, not encouragement. Right, you're bricked in the privates, went to A&E, only to leave in handcuffs. To be fair, this was hilarious. You've seen the clip many times at the time of the riots. It's the guy who went shouting at the police, got hit on the head with a brick, turned round and got hit square in the knackers by another brick. The man who took part in the Southport riots was arrested after he visited the hospital to have his injuries tended to. He was spotted by the police and arrested on his way out. Oh, God. We'll probably get let off, though. Alcohol-free Guinness. I mean, what is the point? And what is the point of alcohol-free alcohol? You don't drink it for the taste. You drink it to get drunk. I drink it for the iron, though, because I work too long. Alcohol-free Guinness soars in popularity, but people ask why it's not cheaper. Guinness Zero costs a heavy £6.50 a pint, and for years we've wondered why. But now the reason for the price has been revealed, and it's not what you would expect. It's because people are prepared to pay it. That's what it is. You've got to remember, there's no alcohol in it. Ergo, you don't pay alcohol tax on it. It's just a way of cashing in on people's insecurities. Cannibal killer who fried an 8-man's heart, freed by Putin to fight in Ukraine. Dmitry Maleshev, 36, was jailed for 25 years for killing 3 people and eating the heart of one of his victims. He was freed by Putin to fight in the Ukraine war and has now returned home. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, many things. What does Guinness taste like? Guinness. I mean, literally, I can't think of anything else that tastes like Guinness. It's very irony. Angela Rayner jumps on Keir's Cadger train with New York holiday, which I mentioned earlier. Deputy PM Angela Rayner has been confronted with claims she broke rules after staying in a New York apartment of Lord Ali, the same person who bought all the clothes for Keir Starmer. Days after Keir Starmer was criticised for accepting clothes from the same person. What it goes on to mention is the fact that another Labour MP or Labour member stayed there as well, free of charge. It's a nice wig if you can get it. First list of 23 UK accounts set for Toys R Us returns, but with big change to shops. The newsagent chain has been focusing on its travel division in recent years, with the company announcing 5% increase in total sales from the year ending August 21st. But they now have owned Toys R Us and they're on about opening some of the stores, but they're going to be probably more like concessions within stores rather than anything else. World's tallest volcano spews £5,000 worth of gold dust every day. Mount Erebus in Antarctica spits out 80 grams of the precious metal every day, with gold dust found up to 621 miles away from the volcano, leaving experts scratching their heads. And you know what that is? Because if you get gold in your hair, it's really, really itchy. It's worse than having nits. It's really horrible. So yeah, that's why the scientists are scratching their heads. I like to sort these things out for people because you need to know, don't you? You need to know what is going on in the world. Everyday foods including vegetables that contain nicotine. Nicotine is a powerful chemical that makes smoking so addictive. Also, it's put in vaping to make that addictive as well, which is more likely to kill you than smoking in the long term. You heard it here first. But you may be surprised to learn that it's also present in things you eat every day. No. Nicotine is a natural substance found in a plant that we choose, or people choose to cut the leaves off, dry, then wrap up in paper and then burn and inhale. It's a natural thing. Of course it's going to be in other things as well. I mean, one of the most stupid things I've ever read. Apart from this. Brits to be hit by megastorm, as rainfall will bring 6 weeks of rain in about an hour. The Met Office extended its warning into Monday for a megastorm that is set to spread across the UK, bringing with it 6 weeks worth of rain in 12 hours. So don't forget, hosepipe ban by March of next year. F1, been a while. Max Verstappen holds a press conference outside the FIA press conference room in protest over punishment for swearing. Now, apparently he got a hefty fine and told off for using naughty words over a radio communication with his mechanics and his engineer at the last Grand Prix, and he's been told that they cannot swear. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you ever watch a football match, how many times can you lip read a footballer swearing? Sport, no matter what it is a high pressure thing and people will swear. They actually bleep out the swearing if they put across a video, a radio message or on the TV, they bleep out the swearing bit. So it will say, "Why the beep have you pitted me now? I need to be ahead of beeping beep," and that kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, the FIA trying to destroy F1, which is a shame because it's actually better now than it's been for a very long time. And finally, I just have one question. Why? Elton John limited edition Marmite. Why? Why is that a thing? I genuinely have no comprehension as to why there's an Elton John limited edition jar of Marmite that you can buy. Why? Why? I mean, is it because people love Elton John and other people hate him? I mean, I've seen things that have occurred where you're like, why? In promotions and things like that. But that, I mean, that is the biggest why of all times. It makes absolutely no sense. So, that brings us to breaking news. This is where we look at the news that is breaking. Oh, hang on, someone's put something there. Hang on. Go away. No, I want to read that. Go away. I'm not clicking on it anymore. Go away. There we go. Because he's retired from music. Oh. Okay. So if I retire from YouTube, does that mean we're going to have a Tegs Marmite? That would be pretty cool, to be fair. Anyway, yeah, we've got a heavy rain warning at the moment, and now my PC's on a go slow. We're only using 34% of it, come on. There we go. Nope, it's gone again. There we go. What is going on? Anyway, I'll bring you breaking news when my computer isn't broken. Did anyone look at my thing, by the way? Just go on my OnlyFans page. Oh, Ollie. Someone called Elaine. Don't know who that is. Right then. Okay, Rachel Reeves declares wars on tax dodgers to win back billions for public services. Fair dues. MP calls for pensioner task force amid winter fuel payment controversy. French PM Barina signals tax hike for the wealthy. UK long-range weather forecast predicts cooler spells and increased snow as the winter fuel payments are scrapped. Social care problems adding to worst crisis in history of NHS, says West Streeting. The worst crisis in the NHS history is Labour in charge. I mean, it was bad under the Tories, but my God. My mother's been in hospital for over a month now, and they can't let her home because they can't get the social care in place for her. She doesn't need to be in hospital. She's hugging a bed now. Yeah. How to protect your garden from heavy rain? Concrete it. Bedfordshire flooding. Many roads closed, include Luton and Dunstable. Getting a -1 Arctic blast. Labour's Angela Rayner says personal holiday in New York with Sam Tarry broke no rules. People evacuated as lightning strikes a house. Hezbollah declare open-end battle of reckoning with Israel and fires more than 100 rockets. Arsenal underline McCulloch's transformation despite being denied major title boost by Man United sucker punch. Rachel Reeves pledges investment to rebuild Britain. Where's all this money coming from in the budget? Oh yeah, pensioners. Irish president accuses Israeli embassy of leaking letters sent to Iran president. Liam Gallagher hits back at imposters criticising his angelic tones during a Wembley gig. Donald Trump says he won't run for presidential election in 2028 if he loses election. I bet he will though. Alabama mass shooting, 4 dead and 18 injured after multiple gunmen open fire in Birmingham. Alabama, not Birmingham, Birmingham. Elon Musk will take anyone to Mars, but not if Kamala Harris becomes US president. What? What? Does that mean he thinks the world's going to be safer, so we all stay here? Okay, maybe not. A Daily Mail claim that Keir Starmer is already in meltdown at first Labour conference in Power. And then there's something about something I don't care about. So there you go then. That is the news from this week. So, thank you very much for this. Been on for an hour and 13 minutes. I'll try and keep it down to an hour if I can. We've had 68 viewers. We've had, I don't know what's going on there, but we've had, highest number at any one time was 10, average is 534. We've had 3 likes. Big shout out to everyone who's been on board. Oh, we're on board there, so we are. We're on board, are we? Oh, we are there, so we are. Oh, well, there you go then, so it is. It is, isn't it? So, Dream Frequency, Stephen LFC, congratulations on your engagement to Kelly Raw. Laney, Kelly as well, obviously. Toffs TV, Angela O'Kane, Bitcoin Wolf Cub, who is a man. Well, claims to be a man, we don't know. I don't want proof, thanks, no, please, don't. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this, and yeah, I'll be seeing you. Until next time, bye!